Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Wednesday. Hump Day. We made it another week, right? Today's Red Mic message: die, scum. No, I don't mean that literally. I do have a point. I'll get to it in a minute. Um, there's a Today is going to sort of be a continuation of yesterday. A little bit of an offshoot, but really very related to yesterday. There's a saying, a feeling, an idea that is pretty well known about grudges. Holding a grudge is like you drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Now, that's a good line because it captures something that most of us learn eventually. The person we're angry with is often doing just fine, but we're the ones carrying the weight. We're the ones replaying the conversation, the insult. We're the ones surrendering our peace to somebody who may have not thought about us in years. And yet, for some reason, we keep drinking. Seinfeld. George is obsessing over this line, and it's not even a great line. Um, I'll refer to it as the jerk store comment. He was just obsessing about delivering this one line, and he spent money and resources in order to go and deliver this one line to this one guy, but he didn't think about what happened next. So he delivers this line, and then the guy comes back with a response that quickly, and George is just sitting there looking like a schmuck. Same sort of idea. We keep drinking the poison. I saw a story recently about these two giant tortoises, and they're both more than a century old. And one of them stole the other's food a century ago. One stolen meal. And ever since then, they have fought almost every day. Not all day, not constantly, just a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes at a time, like clockwork, for more than 120 years. That food is long gone. It's possible that neither tortoise even really remembers what that particular food tasted like. Everybody who witnessed the original fight, the original theft, they're long gone. The circumstances are gone, the meal is gone, but the grudge remains. So for over a century, those two tortoises have been spending a part of their day every single day proving that they still don't like each other. And I thought it was funny when I read it, but then I realized that a lot of us humans, we do the same thing. Not every day, but often enough. A comment made 20 years ago, a slight at work, a family disagreement, a business dispute, an old betrayal. The precipitating event itself is long gone. It's over, it's done. But the emotional rent payment is still due, sometimes every day. And we keep paying it. Sometimes we even seem to enjoy it. Now, there's a German word for taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but I've heard it pronounced Schadenfreude and Schadenfreude. You take your pick. That German word literally means harm joy. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never experienced it, congratulations. But I think the rest of us have. And it's that little feeling of satisfaction when the person who hurt us stumbles. Their promotion falls through. Their relationship ends. They have business struggles. There's some sort of public embarrassment. Part of us wants to pretend that we're above that, but we're not always above it. Go back to yesterday. We need to be that third person, right? We're tempted to pull up a chair and watch. And pulling up a chair and watching. There's a scene in the movie Dave. Again, interns, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good one. It's a political one. So it fits with your job this summer. So the movie Dave. Dave, who's acting like he's the president, fires his chief of staff, Bob Alexander. And Bob, from that point on, he's focused on revenge. He's wanting Dave to fail. He's rooting for it, anticipating it, planning for it. At one point, he is literally celebrating what he believes will be Dave's downfall. And just before everything turns around and hits that fan and splatters back at him, he says, "Die, scum!" Today's headline. It's one of those moments that's funny because it's just so ugly. Bob's not building anything. He's not solving any problems. He's not improving himself. He's not helping anybody. He's simply enjoying the possibility that Dave's going to fall on his face. And then, of course, the whole thing blows up on him. That's the funny thing about living for somebody else's failure. Eventually, you realize that you built your happiness on a foundation that you don't control. If they fail, you get a brief moment of satisfaction. If they succeed, you're miserable. Either way, they are still in control of your emotions, and that's a terrible deal. And I'll be honest, I've had bosses who treated me poorly. I've been demoted. I've been fired for reasons that had very little to do with my performance and a lot to do with circumstances beyond my control. And when those people stumble later, struggle, or experience problems of their own, there's a small part of me that notices. And honestly, if I'm being truthful, that part of me sometimes has a really loud voice. Instead of whispering, it yells, "See? They got what was coming to them. Justice, karma, serves them right." That's the voice of Schadenfreude. And like most temptations, it offers something that feels good in the moment but leaves you worse off afterward. Because every minute you spend celebrating somebody else's failure is a minute you're not investing in your own future. Every ounce of emotional energy I spend replaying or revisiting an old wound, that's energy I'm not spending on my family, my friends, my work, or the people who actually choose to be part of my life today. Moving on doesn't always feel satisfying. Sometimes it feels like you're letting somebody off the hook. But most of the time, moving on isn't really about them. It's about you. It's about refusing to give somebody who hurt you permanent residence in your head. Again, that whole rent-free thing from yesterday. It's recognizing that your future is worth more than your resentment. And it's about understanding that carrying a grudge, again, it's like drinking poison, even when that poison tastes a little like vindication. It's those tortoises fighting over food. Bob Alexander celebrating a defeat that never arrives. If you spend years waiting for life to punish someone on your behalf, waiting for karma, waiting for justice, waiting for vindication, yes, the universe might settle the score, but life is going to keep moving. Relationships happen, opportunities appear, grandchildren are going to be born, vacations are taken, memories are made, and all the while, that part of your attention remaining chained to a moment that should have been released years ago. Forgiving and forgetting doesn't mean that the person was right. It doesn't mean that what happened was acceptable. It doesn't mean that trust must be or ever can be restored. But it means you're refusing to give somebody that permanent space in your head. So remember these things. The person who benefits most from letting go of a grudge is not the other person. It's you. And that's really today's Red Mike message. I hope that these Red Mike messages are getting through to you. I hope they're helping you. I hope they're helping you in your life, your work, your relationships. That's why I do this every day, Monday through Friday. And I want to say again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd appreciate that too. Hope to see you again tomorrow. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.